All right, guys. Hopefully, you're having a great Sunday evening here as we get into our first match of the night. Wasn't our first match total of the night as we had a couple already finished. Earlier tonight on the B stream, we had U.S. Army Esports take out Possessed Esports 3-0 as they go 2-0. I'm sorry, their standings. They're 2-0 in the standings right now and sitting, I think, in the third spot of Division 4, is it, or Division 5? Yep, Division 4. Or I'm sorry, the second spot. So that's going to be a fun division to watch moving forward. And also, we had this same FCATS squad take out Dominance Esports 3-1 as they are playing two matches tonight. They're trying to get ahead for next week as well. But they are in Division 3, I believe, and they are sitting there at 2-0. They're sitting in a third spot with a 6-2 map count. So, but they're actually playing the other team that is ahead of them in the standings. So, two 2-0 squads going against each other. But I think FCATS has probably played a little bit of a tougher schedule thus far. Reverence has played a couple teams that are sitting towards the bottom of the standings, and now we get to see two really good teams go at it and hopefully get a better idea of how this division's going to shake out, because we're kind of seeing teams start to elevate, some start to fall off. The playoff picture is already starting to form a little bit. Patty, what is up, brother? Acrimini, what is going on? Just casting as usual. But I think we're going to get right into this here. Should be a fun match. Like I said, a couple undefeated squads here going at it. It's going to be a fun match, I would think. Hopefully everyone got to watch some of the CDL event this weekend, as we had kind of a boring Sunday, unfortunately. Didn't really have a whole lot of competition, but overall, a fun weekend, I'd say. But we're going to get right into this here. I'm looking forward to it. We unfortunately weren't able to get FCAT's first series tonight, as they kind of scheduled it last minute, but glad we can get their other one. And we're going to see two high-quality teams going at it here. We're going to hop on with Viper Oasis and go watch this outer coal area, it looks like. And as usual, we're going to see a big push for that middle flag right away, but Reverence already with a great start. Trauma start up 2-0, getting some big AR kills. I'm curious as... I don't kid you. But this is definitely going to be interesting to see how the meta change is going to affect these squads. I know Supremacy is a very good AR for the side of FCATS. He started out a little bit slow here, but it looks like Trauma is playing pretty well already for the side of FCATS, but he's, I think, rocking the subs. So curious as to how this is going to work for both teams. I honestly can't remember what people run for Reverence. I think I do remember Fastigum does use the M4, but outside of that, I can't remember about the rest. So we'll have to kind of wait and see how this goes. Game audio is too loud. Interesting. If anyone else is having issues with the game audio, let me know and I'll turn it down, but I haven't heard that complaint yet, so... So we do have, looks like a Ram popping out here. We haven't seen that very often yet in the league. But the few times we have seen it, has been pretty successful. So we do see Reverence holding their own here early on. FCATS definitely one of the favorites to take the league this year. They were some of these players were part of the squad that finished second place last season. So definitely a very high quality team. As we do see FCATS taking the rest of the scrap time, while they are also the rotate towards P3 here. So this could be a great situation for them to kind of extend this lead, get themselves a decent setup. And Levy's going to fly and take out one of the players left here, but Reverence is actually going to be able to break their way in here in a very impressive fashion. Levy kind of cut through that, what was that, the A-Dom area. Was able to do that pretty freely, and now they're going to be set up with Levy getting a couple important kills. He's going to take out FCATS, but FCATS is still in back. Trauma's going to find two big kills. As he's sitting there at 10-5, he's definitely leading the charge for his team, while Supremacy struggling so far. Dash is struggling. There's a bunch of players for FCATS that are kind of slow on the slang side of things, but Reverence has done a pretty good job here of holding their own. They're definitely showing they belong at the top of Division 3. So far, though, good job just contesting here for Reverence as you think Supremacy's been taken out. And now we're seeing the team start to rotate towards P4. But the big thing for FCATS is they are actually, they do the spawns for P5. So that's the important thing to keep an eye out for. As they're trying to just hold this down, Reverence is probably going to send a couple people to try to flip spawns, but their main focus is to try to rack up some time here since they don't have spawns. As I think it was Des who won a big gunfight against Viper towards the backside over by Cole, which will keep the spawns in here with FCATS here. Just like that, I think Reverence will be able to break in here, get at least some time here on P4. As Graves is going to launch a grenade over the top and pick up Lovey. Just like this, FCATS starting to build that lead up once again. If they can control this hill for the rest of this time, they should have a pretty good lead going into the second set of rotations here. They played a pretty standard first half. Really, it's just been their gun skill. It's going to take over the top, but it's been a very, very even matchup so far with Reverence. It's going to be able to break in here and get some time. It's like FCATS is spawning out, so a great break is they're going to keep this close. Still some big gunfight stuff as Ray and Trauma are going to take up the last two players for Reverence, and they should get the remaining 20 seconds of scrap time, as this lead's going to buoy up to, you'd think, around 50 points. Big gunfight win there by Viper as they're trying to hold spawns for P2, as that's the next big money hill that can allow Reverence to break their way back into this game. As Trauma's going to find a couple of kills inside of the smoke. Oop, I need to update the map count, guys. So far, no one getting any time here on P1. Not totally shocking. It's definitely one of those hills you don't see much time racked up. Generally, a contest-heavy hill where people are just trying to position themselves for the next hill. But unfortunately for Reverence here, FCATS is in a great spot to really pull themselves ahead. As you're going to see a clean wipe here with only one player left. There it is, 80% dropping. Now it's getting a little bit scary. FCATS does have the spawns for P2. Reverence hasn't really gotten a lot of time on P1. They might be able to push their way to that 100-point mark, but Supremacy and Co. are starting to kind of push towards the outer side, trying to make sure that Reverence doesn't get any time here on P1. So that's a lot of confidence in the people that are, by the water tower, and then also near the outer train tracks to hold those spawns. As a couple players do go over there to make sure no time is gained for Reverence, as this lead's going to continue to buoy. Viper's in position to try to make a play. He's going to be able to find nobody yet. Lovey's going to get taken out with a couple people coming from crates. And this is a couple times we've seen FCATS maybe get a little bit greedy on where they have people coming from. Right now, they're winning basically solely off of gun skill. But they have kind of gotten into a couple situations where, especially we saw on P5 there, where we saw Reverence break in. They weren't able to hold it, but they were able to break in and had a good opportunity to try to get some major time there and really kind of flipped this game on its head. But FCATS does get a little bit greedy on where they send players. A lot of teams try to push out the opposition and where they're spawning, but FCATS seems to kind of get a little bit greedy on the edges of the points. Maybe push a little bit too far. Maybe sell out on whatever angle they're trying to hold. So. But it is FCATS once again in position for P3 here. As FCATS is trying to reach that 200-point mark. Looks like it should be happening here soon, but Supremacy starting to heat up. He's up to 16 and 17 after he's had a kind of a slow start to the game. He's on a 4 streak, but Reverence does have spawns. They're trying to flood this as well as they can, but no one's really made any pushes through a different angle here. And you just see FCATS just fire down into this choke point, and they're winning all these gunfights as Trauma picking up some kills, and you see J-Ray playing great. I think Josh got a couple there as well. And the rest of this time isn't going to go the way of FCATS. They're almost up about 100 points here. This is looking like, to me, their map, unless Reverence can stage an incredible comeback. But the good thing Reverence is, if they don't lose it on P4, they're going to be in a decent spot to have spawns for P5 and then potentially stage a decent comeback at least. But FCATS can win it on P4. Are they going to be able to find? Can Reverence find a way to fight their way in? And actually, just like that, looks like Des has made his way through the backside. Number 4 on the minimap, it was Lovey. He pushed up. That's going to allow FCATS to spawn in back, and that's a terrible situation for Reverence. You have to have a little bit more discipline than that to hold spawns, to be a little bit more aware of the player count and where they're coming from. Reverence is able to get some decent time here, but it's not going to matter as FCATS is going to be set up early for the next hill. Trauma doing some big counting fight against Clay. And now this is looking like it's definitely going to be an FCATS victory, barring something absolutely unforeseen. Agent 47 picks up a couple at the old hill. He's going to get traded by Trauma, who's going to not be able to find the second. But with only 21 points needed, and them having firm control of the next hill, it's going to take an absolute miracle for Reverence to break in. Josh finds the first kill. Viper does respond with taking out Josh. That could be a pick that they can use to break in here, but only 10 seconds left. J-Ray in a great test spot. He's going to be able to find no one yet, but everyone now from FCATS prepares to flood in. Only 7 more seconds needed. This should be map 1 for FCATS. And there it is. There's the last tick. Before we switch to the next map here, I think I'm going to lower the game volume because I can definitely hear it on my side. It is pretty loud. So give me a second here. I'm going to try to adjust that for you guys. All right, guys, give me 1 second here. All right, well, hopefully the game volume is in a better spot now. Hopefully it should be a little less overbearing, but we shall see. But that's an impressive start there for FCATS as they absolutely dominate. I can't say that was unexpected. I guess I'm just a little bit surprised that it was as ugly as it was. I figured Reverence would come in here and look pretty good. The only downfall is I don't think they were hosting. So, you know, that's always tough. But it was their map pick. So something, definitely a map they felt comfortable on. They had a couple opportunities to kind of flip the script during that map, and they just couldn't really get a whole lot going. The ARs for Reverence just couldn't really get their footing. Agent 47 with the sub played pretty well. He did about as well as you could expect with the MP5 there. But outside of that, just tough for the side of Reverence as they couldn't continually slay with the side of FCATS. And it seems like whenever you're on FCATS POV, they always do such a good job of traveling together. They always trade out. I mean, given they generally win their first gunfights to begin with, but they're very good at trading out whenever someone does lose a gunfight. Their comms are always very good. They're very organized on what they're trying to do. So that's kind of what separates this FCAT squad from a lot of these kind of mid-tier teams that are close to being able to make that jump. And I think Reverence kind of falls directly in there as they're a squad that has solid gun skill, that they seem to have really good map awareness and have a really good idea of what they want to do. but definitely there's a difference between top tier and or top tier league AM teams, and then you know, those kind of mid tier squads. But this is a big matchup here for Division 3, as both these teams are 2-0. I think FCATS will probably, in the end, kind of separate themselves, as it's basically Void Clan Gaming, Reverence here, and FCATS. I think Dominance is a pretty solid squad as well, so they'll probably find themselves in the mix. And that's sadly kind of it for Division 4. From what I've seen, it'll probably be those 4 squads fighting for the top 3, with FCATS kind of pulling away towards the end. They haven't played Void yet, but that'll be a really good matchup, as Void is a solid squad as well. But there's definitely a lot of competition that we're going to see here coming up. Elijah, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that, as we are now 4 away from 1,600. We were cruising right along. Our B stream tonight ended up reaching affiliate, so that's awesome. And for those of you that have watched Jaden and CryoCast over there, appreciate that, as you guys help support. Always awesome. But we are going to Piccadilly Search and Destroy, which I think is going to be the map pick of FCATS. And that's where it gets a little bit scary. This is a lot. This is a kind of pocket pick map. Teams that pick it on purpose generally feel very, very comfortable on it. And I expect that to show through here for FCATS. I do remember some of these players playing last season and picking this, and they looked very impressive on it. So that's kind of what I expect to see here as well. So we shall see. But overall, kind of what I expected to see there in the first map. Did my own stream subscribe? I didn't even know you could do that. Incredible. I don't know what you did to do that, Jaden, but impressive. Oops, sorry, Tar Heel. I'm so bad at updating this. I don't know why. Why am I so bad about updating this recently? What's up, brother? These are some teams from your division, so good to come in here and get your information. But we are going to see Supremacy with the sniper. Like, you did get some information on a player rotating towards that A point or A bomb site. No, it was not. It was like 250 to like 140 or something like that. As Des takes out Lovey, big gunfight win. Josh finds play, and that's going to be a 5-3 advantage already for FCATS. But Viper and Fastigam will pick up 2 of their own to tie it up at 3 players apiece, as we do see FCATS working their way towards B-bomb site. I would love to switch to point of views here, but the game is just not very quick. As Supremacy and Ray find kills. And that's going to be a hit marker for Reverence, but it's not going to matter. Luckily, it was just a hit marker for FCATS, as that could have gotten a little bit strange had Fastigam been able to get a M4 there, but he actually, I think, was shooting at the player on the bomb, and Trauma jumped through the window at the worst possible time. Luckily, it just winged him, and FCATS takes a 1-round lead here already. And now looking for Reverence to respond with an offensive round of their own after FCATS kind of was pretty assertive there. It was definitely a chance for Reverence to make a play, but looks like Des looked into the bosses. Lovey's going to take him out. Good positioning, as J-Ray is in a position to either help his team or kind of get picked off, but he's going to find it. Lovey's going to trade him out. Lovey's going to find a third who takes out Trauma. Impressive shots there, as he absolutely beams him. And that's going to be a 1 life advantage for Reverence here with the bomb down. Supremacy and Josh, I would love to switch players. Come on. I don't know how you did that, Jaden, but appreciate it. Josh is going to get pistoled. Oh, but he almost got pistoled. Fastigam could not get himself the kill. Lovey's going to find his 4th of the round, as he's now 1 kill away from an ace. And with 7 seconds left, the bomb is going to be... Well, I guess it's just going to be a kill. That's going to be a great rebound round there for Reverence, as they tie it up at 1 round apiece. Josh gets taken out. And that was really just on the back of Lovey as he ended up getting 4 in the round. Got a couple huge kills in the middle part there that allowed the bomb to get down. Now we're going to see the offense go back to FCATS. Lovey sitting there at 4-1. So we do see, I think, a sniper out for Fastigum there. Supremacy's going to take out Lovey. That's a big kill as Lovey's been the difference maker for the side of Reverence so far. As Agent 47 sitting up top, top sheet here, has to back down. That grenade, he's going to slide right into that grenade. Luckily, his health had come back up. That's going to be a explosion killer for the side of Des, and Supremacy is going to take out Agent 47. Viper does know someone's up on the catwalk. Is he able to get eyes on him? Not yet. His Trauma's going to take out Clay. Viper's going to find one, but it's 1v4. It would take one heck of a sequence of shots here. And that's going to be an impressive round. Very quick round for the side of FCATS as they roll right through to take the 2-1 lead. And something to keep in mind, a couple of these players that finished second place last year for FCATS, their one downfall seemed to be search and destroy. The couple times I did see them lose maps, it was always search. In the finals, that they probably would have been able to finish off the 2-map comeback as they came from the losers bracket. Probably would have been able to see them actually complete that win had they been able to win searches more. But the second best of 5 went to a map 5, and that's when Furious Steel took over, got the win in the end, and FCATS was sitting there and could really only win the respawns. So definitely happy to see them working more so on the search and destroy here. They have a slightly different squad, maybe more S&D focused, but they are also very good at respawn as well. So as we see FCATS with the big time advantage here, 2 life advantage for them, as Josh finds a couple towards his B bomb site. In a strong position, we see the next gunfight coming down in a pretty important spot as Des is going to win that. Clay's going to respond with one. And that's going to be another round for FCATS as they are up 3-1 on their map pick. One that I know a lot of teams just hate to play. I personally just hate this map, so not that that's saying much, but now we are going to round number 5. Important round here for Reverence. They can't afford to go down 4-1. Have to be able to claw back into it here. But they are on defense. Got to be able to figure out which bomb site these players are going to early on and respond accordingly. Because I think we saw this weekend with the New York home series, the team that was more aggressive on offense on this map generally had a lot of success. So it looks like the side of FCATS is going to be something a little bit slow. Fastigum's going to take out Ray there with the sniper. Great first blood for Reverence. Supremacy's going to respond with a snipe of his own. And I think the player for FCATS that peeked there did get some information. Oh, Fastigum did see the lower body of Trauma. Will he be able to get some information? But Trauma's going to take out Clay there. Impressive kill. He's just trying to play his life, and Fastigum did see him cross. As I think he does know there's a sniper back here. He's just playing his life. Playing those angles well so far as Agent 47 trying to find this player. He's going to get grenaded, though. He's going to stay alive barely. Reposition. He does know where Supremacy is. He's trying to play his life at this point, but the bomb is over towards B. So Des is going to take out Agent from that mid-bus area. Lovey's got to get this kill. Oh, Des is going to win it. And now this is firmly around for Reverence. Fastigum's going to find one. Can't find any more as he's now just pinned him back. I could not switch him because Codcaster is slow. But that's another big round for FCATS there. They're up 4-1. With 2 rounds needed to go up 2-0 in this series. See what Supremacy can do with the sniper here. I don't know if the player that was... Yep, that's going to mean easy first blood for Supremacy as Viper just kind of over-peaked. Got a little bit confident there trying to pick one of these players off. There were 2 of them for FCATS over here by this lower stairwell. Agent 47 is playing patiently, trying to wait for somebody to run into his sights. I think Des does see this player top scaff, maybe? Not see the gun. I think he does. But Vascom's going to back up and wisely back up. Agent 47 might be caught here. Clay's going to find a big kill. Oh, Agent 47 is going to get shot or caught from behind here momentarily, you'd think. There it is. Josh will protect him. There goes Fastigium. I want to say fast again, but I'm not sure if that's accurate or not. Clay, last one alive. He's going to find one. Can he get with his life? He's going to get traded out. That's going to be a 5-1 lead for FCATS as they are 1 round away from taking a 2-0 lead in this series. See Trauma there with the great shots. He's not going to let Clay get away. And this has been impressive. Definitely a great showing for FCATS here. Kind of what you expected on a map they picked. One that I have seen them play well in the past. I think the only team I've ever seen them lose to was the team that won last season. So this is a tough map for sure. As Supremacy got a pretty good opportunity to get a snipe kill there. He missed it barely. Could not quite catch up to the sprinting player. The double sprint making that difference. As we see FCATS once again kind of playing behind the pick. That's the Supremacy, taking out Agent 47. Trauma somehow staying alive. He's going to get down from the stairwell. Bassigan, the last one over here. He did take out the sniper. As Trauma's going to fly in, he's going to find 2 easy kills, and that's going to be map number 2 for FCATS there. Impressive showing as that round number 7 flew by very quickly behind the opening picks for FCATS. That's going to be a commanding 2-0 lead in this series. And I figured FCATS would take this series. I didn't think it was going to be quite this dominant, especially the Search and Destroy. But apparently the couple changes they made to their roster for Search and Destroy are definitely paying off. And we saw virtually no fall off in Hardpoint either. So I expect the domination to be pretty similar. But that was an impressive map number 2 there, as FCATS is just playing some great Call of Duty at the moment. Not shocking, as that seems to be something they do very, very well. But here we go. Looks like we're going to a St. Petra domination. This is a map that I do recall this team, or at least the players that were on last season's team, were very, very good at. I expect that to kind of continue here. I don't expect much fall off at all. But this should be a pretty good map for them. This is kind of where it gets scary for Reverence for me. Obviously, outmatched in the hard point. May have seen something about the connection not being good, but overall, definitely think this is going to favor the side of FCATS. Looks like the game lobby's closed, and we're going to get a new host here. Deca Boy, thank you for the follows. We are now 3 away from 1,600, closing in on 20,000 views as well. So thank you guys very much for all of the support over the last year and a half, something like that. We're going to have some hopefully big time news to announce here in the next couple weeks, I'm hoping. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Is some stuff that'll hopefully kind of push us to the next level in the coming games for Call of Duty, and then also the other games we were trying to expand into and get a footprint in. In Deca Boy, we are an amateur Call of Duty league. We have a couple other games as well, but Call of Duty is the one we started with and definitely our bread and butter. We have a couple different leagues. One is a money league, the one you're watching here. We stream and cast our matches. Prize pools, I think, going to be a little over $1,000 this year. And then we also have a Smite league, and we're starting up a Valorant league along with, what is the other one? A Halo league. So a lot of stuff going on, but always a lot of fun. I think the game lobby closed once again, but we should be back shortly. But guys, we also have 3 matches that I will be handling tonight, along with another one on the B stream. I think it is Excalibur versus Lethal Gaming on the B stream coming up here momentarily. I am going to be handling Furious Steel versus Criminal at 10:30 Eastern, so about a half an hour from now. So right after this is over, should be going right over there. And then after that, we have Ego Slayers versus Glow Up Gaming. So still a bunch of Call of Duty going on tonight, guys. Also, Inception versus Team Primal is going on at 11 Eastern. So we'll try to give you updates on that to the best of our ability. It's like people might be having some issues with their games here. Potentially. You never know with this game. Always some type of issue, unfortunately. Alright, chat seems to be kind of quiet tonight. Why is that? Why is chat not very active? What are you guys doing to me? Chat's always very lively. What did everyone think of the CDL event this weekend? Thoughts? Reactions? Predictions for next weekend? Because we have, 3 weekends in a row of tournaments? This weekend, next weekend, I can't remember what cities they are, but yeah, I think we have 3 weekends in a row, then Champs a couple weeks after that, if I recall correctly. Thoughts on Champs being online versus some making it happen on LAN? Somebody give me something here. I feel like I'm just talking to a wall. Chat's usually always so responsive. You guys are giving me nothing. It's okay, though. The Call of Duty is speaking for itself as we're about to get into map number 3. What could be the clinching map here for FCATS as they're looking to go 3-0 in Season 3 of XP Leagues. Yeah, I think their season... Well, I guess they're pretty much a lock to make playoffs if they win this one. But the big matchup will definitely be against Void Clan, as they have been a very, very good team thus far. Curious as to how they will look, but with the Metacon switching to AR heavy, I expect Void Clan to be able to hang pretty well with this team, with Tar Heel and Starfall playing great so far this season. Definitely expect it to be a real battle. But we're going to get into map number 3 here, Domination. Going to see some St. Petro. Back this side of FCATS to look very, very good. We're going to see Vesso shooting his own teammate. Why not? As we see a lot of blue in the kill feed early on, and that's going to be still just a standard AC or ANC flags thus far. B has not been grabbed by anybody. But Josh gets a couple after Clay got a couple. And now you'd think, well, B still in the hands of everybody. FCATS not ready to commit to it just yet. As they're worried that Reverence may be able to wipe them off the point and then get it themselves. So we're seeing a lot of players from Reverence start to circle here. That's going to be 3 down in favor. Clay's going to find a couple. Josh finds one in response. Can he find more? He's going to get taken out. This might be the flag for Reverence as they do clear out that B point pretty well. But Des is going to find 2 of his own. And that may have been... Oh, nope. His B grabbed. Des, I think, actually stopped it. He got 3 there. I think all Lovey... Or, who was it? I think all Agent 47 has to do is jump in the hill a little bit. And Reverence did actually secure a B. So that's going to be a wipe on the other side of FCATS. Or FCATS is going to respond with a couple of kills of their own. Ray trying to play his life here. He's going to be able to. And that's going to be B in the hands of FCATS. They're trying to try to build up a lead here. This is where I expect FCATS to really push their advantage. They seem to do a really good job of pushing spawns, kind of just making the map a cluster, more or less. They do such a good job of constantly putting pressure on the enemy team's power positions, making sure that the opposition doesn't really have a chance to breathe. They're going to be pushing C here. I think CB is the preferred side, if there is one on this map, and they're going to be able to get that. And now they're probably just going to send one person at a time towards A, just to try to be a nuisance. As Des finds Viper in the top window. Des starting out 11-4 here, causing some major issues for Reverence. He's able to find another one here. He's going to be able to get him. He's kind of stuck in a corner, though. He's got Reverence players all around him. Reverence is going to be able to neutralize B. Probably won't be able to get it yet, but they did at least stop the bleeding. As FCATS are starting to rack up some major points. As FCATS is going to respond with 4 of their own, including a teammate, and they're going to be able to get B right back. Impressive plays here for FCATS. It seems like whenever they get kills, they come in waves, and that's a scary thing in domination. Des is up to 14-5 so far for Reverence. Fasicum hasn't even gotten a kill yet. He's still sitting there at 0-8, really struggling. And this Ram for Josh has been a difference maker in this series. He played really well in the hard point with it. Got a lot of big 2 pieces. The time to kill on this weapon is incredible. And search and destroy, you didn't see him make as big of a difference, but in the respawns, definitely being a thorn in the side of Reverence here. This Trauma had to drop down. He's 4-4. Kind of a slow start for him, but the rest of the squad's doing everything, so there's not much for him to do. As FCATS just continues to put pressure here from the top apartment side here. Supremacy's going to find 3 in a row using a different weapon than what he usually uses. And this lead is already just about 30 points. I think FCATS actually did spawn on the less desirable side. You see Viper trying to flip the spawns here a little bit, trying to do something. He's going to win a second big gunfight as Ray drops. Expect to see Viper try to hop on the flag here, but there is a player for FCATS nearby. You'd think Viper's going to get shot in the back. He is. Des is there. He's 16-7. Where isn't he? And this lead continues to grow for FCATS. It's over 30 now. Reverence did neutralize B, so they could kind of bring this back a little bit here before the half, but it looks like no one's going to get any points on B at the moment. FCATS might be able to get... Nope, looks like Reverence is going to be able to secure B, but just like that, A is in the hands of FCATS as well, so whatever points they thought they'd be able to accrue towards the end, maybe get an extra tick or 2, that will not be the case. And that's going to be a dominant first half for FCATS, which is to be expected. Here we go to half number 2. FCATS with a commanding lead here. But I've seen them blow out some very, very good teams on this map in domination. This is one I think that'll probably be vetoed against them coming up, or more often than not. But I think that domination for them is just a very preferred game mode. I haven't seen them lose it a ton. Definitely, like maybe once, if that. So definitely a game where they feel great in. As Josh is just getting tagged up with grenades and stuns and whatever else. He's playing his life, but Reverence trying to find their footing a little bit here. They're trying to make their way up towards B. 1847's going to go through the smoke. Trying to find some type of opening, trying to flip spawns here if he can, but he's going to get caught by Ray, who I think jumped out a top hazard there to find the kill. Now Viper in a power position. Is he going to be able to find any kills? He's going to find Josh laying down. Big time kill as they're trying to work their way towards B. I think they made an early attempt to try to flip spawns. It didn't work. Now they're going to have to settle for B. Should be able to get it there. They do. Now they can work on just holding this. Maybe flip, but they have to be careful. If they try flipping and it is shut down, that's when you see triple caps come into play. At the very least, try to neutralize C. J-Ray is going to be able to come through the side door. He's going to... Oh, he's just... Clay's going to be able to escape very briefly, but he's going to get shut down. That's going to be A neutralized as well. As the FCATS is actually going for B, and this is kind of what I was talking about, is if you try to get a little bit too greedy, things can fall apart very quick on you. But I think it was Viper that did stop Des on the B flag, so this lead is starting to shrink very slightly in favor of Reverence. It's now down to 29. FCATS not really sure if they want to commit to this. I think it is Agent 47 is in a really good spot up in the FCATS side of the hazard there, just being a big-time nuisance. That's going to be A, neutralized. No one's getting points. Reverence has actually flipped sides here. They are going to neutralize C. No one on B yet for FCATS. As Lovey's going to win a big-time gunfight against J-Ray there. Had he lost that gunfight, they'd have been in big-time trouble. That's going to be the flip that Reverence needs as they're trying to fight their way back here in half number 2. But they have to make sure that they hold on. See, Lovey constantly in a pretty good spot here in the second half. He's got a couple big gunfights. He's going to get shot in the back by Supremacy. But either way, this lead continues to shrink. It's about down to 20 points. With 2.5 minutes left, Agent 47 trying to get aggressive towards this A flag. He has to be careful, though, to not allow the spawns to flip, as FCATS is actually kind of in a little bit of a spawn trap here. A lot of waves of yellow in the kill feed. Agent 47 is trying to be a pest. He's going to be able to find... No, he wasn't able to find that player. It was 10mm rounds still allowed. I think he would have gotten at least one of those players. But they're going to jump into the top cafe and actually get killed anyways. So not too bad as Reverence continues to make a comeback here. Lead down to about 15 points. FCATS is kind of in trouble. It seems like they haven't had anything go their way in quite a while. The players up on top of each side for Reverence have just been a thorn in the side of FCATS. And that's going to be another 3 down. The lead down to 13. This is a comeback. Under 2 minutes left. Another 4 down in favor of Reverence. Even with Fastigum sitting there at 7 and 18. Everyone else has just been playing so well in the second half. The lead's only 10. Now down to single digits, we once again see another wave of kills as Reverence is just in such strong positions this entire second half. As soon as they flip to B and C, they have held on like nobody's business as FCATS is trying to put it away in 3 maps. Finally, you're getting some blue in the kill feed once again as things have absolutely slowed down. Supremacy is going to find a couple. Viper's going to get a knife killer on Supremacy. As the lead is down to 3. Reverence trying to complete this comeback, but you see FCATS sell it out to switch sides. This is a great play by them. They are going to be able to get C, you would think, but if that fails, they are in major trouble. Clay trying to come from the middle area. He's going to get taken out. This is going to be a flip. This could be exactly what FCATS needs, as they only lead by 1. They have to make their push towards B now. This is the time. They have to go and get it done. Enigma, thank you for the follow. But Lovey, he's going to get traded out. B is wide open at the moment. No one getting any points, I don't think. And what neutralized, Dasta's going to be able to hop in. He's going to try to secure B. This is exactly what FCATS wants. With 24 seconds left, Clay's going to come to the backside and find 2. Reverence making the hot plays when they have to. Grenades going to go in. Can that wipe them all off? No one killed yet. It's this. Trava, he finds a couple. They are going to be able to hop on B, but Viper's going to find 2. They have to get in the point now. Only a couple ticks left. They have to hop on B. That's going to be a neutralization. That's going to be it. I think Reverence has won this game. they're going to be able to win and take it to a map 4. What an incredible map. Just back and forth. We saw it go as we're going to a map number 4. Oh my gosh. I have to say, I didn't expect that. I thought FCATS would kind of run away with it, but that was such a great second half there by Reverence. They were down, what, like 30-something points? I think it was 30. But once they got that BC hold, they held it for so long. It was pretty much like the 3-minute mark, I think is when they finally got it. And it took FCATS, like 2.5 minutes to finally work their way towards C. It was just such a strong hold there by Reverence that there's really no opportunity for FCATS to really break their way through. So impressive map by Reverence as they get themselves back into it very slightly as we're going to another hard point, map number 4. And what I see in the chat, 10mm rounds should be coming back. I have not heard that. Have not heard any discussion about that. It wouldn't shock me if they kept it the way it is. It seems like this is the meta that teams prefer. Like there's always going to be complaining, but I think teams feel like this is a more fair and normal setup than what the 4 MP5 meta was. The 2 or 3 ARs is pretty standard for Call of Duty, especially 5v5. I feel like if it's 4 ARs, and that's a little bit strange, but you really only see that on Cave, and that's just because there's so many long lines of sight. But even then, having 2 subs probably isn't terrible if you're a good enough team for breaking or getting spawns and things like that. But either way, the 2 or 3 AR meta seems a lot more balanced to me than 4 subs. That's just a little bit strange, especially when subs could beam ARs from just as far away. It was kind of strange to see, and even though now it sucks for subs, it's just a adjustment period on routes and things like that. So I think people will get used to it. J Ray, thanks for the follow, man. I think people will get used to it, but you're not going to see a huge change in results probably in leagues like this. Unfortunately, it's mainly the top tier teams, top AMs. The pro teams, obviously, where the meta changes a lot of things as far as team success. Like you saw the Huntsman struggling recently, but the switch to this meta, they looked very, very good. Obviously, New York looked very, very good. Being able to switch and add another AR or 2. This is going to change a lot of things for a lot of teams. It looks like we're going to a St. Petro hardpoint. So we're going to stick in the same map. I think we are going to a Reverence host here. So that was an impressive thing about that win by Reverence. It was FCATS host on a game mode that FCATS is very, very good at, and Reverence had them in such a trap for so long. I didn't know what to expect, but man, that was incredible stuff. I've never seen FCATS be put in a trap like that, and that was, man, that was something to see. But now I'm curious if the side of FCATS is going to just kind of take control of the series here, try to do their best to pull away and finish this off in 4 maps. I don't think they want to go to another search and destroy if they can avoid it, even though they did look very impressive the first time. But here we go. This could be the series as we have reached map number 4. And just so you guys know, we have a couple more matches coming up after this, so don't go anywhere. We're going to hop on with Trauma here as FCATS is going to be spawning on the good side. Something that we have to pay attention to and look for is Reverence trying to not allow too much time here on P1. This map to me is a lot like Hackney, where if the team spawning on the preferred side has a good P1, it can get very dicey for the other team very, very quickly. I've seen teams start in big holes here on this map, and it just absolutely screwed them immediately. But so far, good start for Reverence as they are into the hill, getting a lot of time early on. Supremacy's got to watch his side as he's going to get shot in the back. He did take one before he dropped, but you see FCATS kind of spawning in a little bit of a strange spot. They aren't spawning totally out, but they are a lot closer to losing spawns, and what they'd probably like is that's going to be a hole as they wipe out all the players from Reverence. But a great start here as Reverence is closing in on 40 points already on P1. Now you see the setup starting to work its way in. There's one player for Reverence trying to break its way in. He's going to get shut down by Josh. Now you're going to see FCATS start to build that point total back up, trying to take a lead of their own. Reverence has definitely shown they are a worthy adversary, though. That first hard point definitely did not go their way, but they seem to be rolling in confidence now. That grenade over the top is going to almost take out Supremacy. Not sure how he's still alive. FCATS trying to just hold things down. Reverence is trying to work their way into this hill with just under 40 seconds left. Still plenty of time for Reverence to try to make their way in, but Lovey trying to come up from the backside, and that should be the break for Reverence. Halfway through the point, they're going to be able to get a decent amount of time here. I'm curious to see what FCATS is going to do as they spawn towards P1, but a great break, not bad timing either, as they're going to be able to approach that 80-point mark and have about a 50-point lead going into the third hill. This transition from P3 to P4 is going to be the difference maker for me. I'm curious if FCATS is able to get Reverence to flip spawns at the worst possible time and then pin them back there. It's something I've seen really good teams do, but we're going to have to see what's going to happen in the next, probably 30 to 40 seconds. It's the early time going away with FCATS. I would expect that it was Ray's going to take out Trauma with a grenade. A little love tap there. If Reverence is smart, they're going to kind of play this a little bit hesitantly. You don't want to get this flip and then get pinned in back. That's the worst thing that could happen, especially when you don't have the early time of the hill. It looks like Reverence is going to be able to get the early time, but they've actually flipped spawns now. So FCATS is going to be able to work their way towards the hill. Ideally, they get some time as Josh does go ahead and team kill Ray there. And now you're going to see FCATS try to work their way to the hill while also trapping Reverence in back. Fascum is going to take out Josh, which is a big kill, as he was kind of the linchpin there to get those players off spawn. But either way, I think FCATS can be pretty happy about how this went. They are going to have the early rotation for the Money Hill, which is P4. And they did slightly trim the lead there. I think it was about 50. And now it's down to, well, it'll be just above 40. So not too bad overall. They trimmed it there and split that hill. But this is where they can get their lead back. Trauma takes out Viper. And no one for Reverence is remotely close to this hill yet. The first, like, 10 to 15 seconds would be absolutely free for FCATS. The Agent 47 is going to find the first pick in. He's going to chuck a smoke that's going to allow him to cross into the back. A good decision by him. He's going to get shot in the back by Des, though. He's going to shut that push down. And now you see FCATS taking out the players as Reverence has made their way towards the hill. Trauma not able to kill this player running towards the van, but J-Ray and Supremacy find 3. This looks like it might be basically a full 60 for FCATS. Anything Reverence can do to try to contest is going to be beautiful, as Lovey's just going to be laying down on the contest spot, doing a great job as he finds 1, and at least slows him down a little bit, as Des has been the first one into the next hill. And FCATS is actually not taking the lead here yet, as Des finds another. Now we're going to see FCATS be able to take a small lead, you would think, as this game just continues to go back and forth. And Reverence is able to break in. Josh finds a couple as he's still alive. Viper's going to take out 2, though. And Reverence, it seems like every time FCATS seems to have an opportunity to take the lead or bring it back to even, Reverence does something great to bring themselves to start to build the lead back up again as they do break in here on P5. The slang seems to be pretty even. Maybe favoring FCATS a little bit, but just they're doing such a good job of playing as Agent 47 is going to be sitting in a very strange spot and gets 2 big kills. You would think the rest of this time is going to go the way of Reverence here, as they are actually the first to rotate towards P1, and this is looking scary for FCATS. They aren't doing a great job of controlling spawns. Their holds on the hills is they aren't doing overly well there, as the slang is about even. You're kind of seeing how their setups and holds maybe aren't as strong as what they'd like to be. When they're slaying out, it doesn't really show that much, but when the slang is pretty even, it's a much different story. And this lead continues to grow. It's up to about 40 points for Reverence and continuing to grow as Trauma finds a couple. As you do see Reverence trying to flip these spawns. They aren't going to succeed yet, but the time is still going the way of Reverence here. Lead over 50. Lovey's going to pop out and take out Trauma, and this might be a complete 60 for Reverence as they are getting close to flipping spawns. One more gunfight, and they might have them. As you see FCATS spawning just outside of the hill, Clay finds one, and this might be exactly what Reverence needs to take this to a map 5. As Clay's going to find two. One person left in the back of the hill. It's going to be Trauma. He's going to find one. Can he play his life? Trauma's going to get taken out, and that is the flip for Reverence as they are in firm control of map number 4 and looking to take this to a map number 5. FCATS needs some magic here as they're absolutely dominating. They need a break, and they need a hold now more than ever. I've never seen this team in this much of a struggle in a hard point before. Even the ones that I saw them lose last season, they were all very close towards the end. As we do see FCATS in the hill, but just like that, Reverence wins all the gunfights, and they are back in. Supremacy wins a big one. In 5 more, he's going to find a second. He's going to take it out by grenade. And FCATS still trying to rack up time. J-Ray's going to get shot in the back by FCATS, just playing in the corner. Death did trade it out. So FCATS is able to trim the lead very slightly, but that's still a very scary situation for FCATS. Reverence can just keep playing the early rotations, get the early time, and inch their way closer to that 250-point mark. I'm Good Cloud. Thank you for the follow. Under a 50-point lead. FCATS trying to make their way through here. J-Ray finds a couple big kills. Trauma finds 2 as well. This is huge. It's starting to make their way towards P3. If they can get Reverence in a spawn trap, get some time here on P3 and win rotations for P2, they could be in a great spot to make this comeback, but they have to start winning gunfights now. J-Ray finds 2. Can he play it? Oh, I think that was Des that got the gunfight. I thought Des actually turned to burn a Viper. That's an incredible gunfight win. And this is setting up well for FCATS as they are clawing the way back. They do have Reverence spawning a bad spot. Lovey's going to find out. Oh, we only found one. Josh found one. It trades back and forth in the hill. Looks like FCATS is not settling on rotating towards P4 yet. This could be unfortunate for them if the gunfights go a bad direction. They're just going to be trying to contest this time. Try not to allow Reverence to get any closer, but it looks like FCATS is going to be already rotating towards P4. This is a rotation they cannot afford to lose. As Ray did take out Clay. He was the closest person over here for Reverence. The lead continues to shrink, and if they hold a full 60 here, they will take the lead. But this hill was contested decently for Reverence last time. I think FCATS did get the majority of the time, but there was probably 10 seconds of contested, which was a pretty good situation considering where Reverence was coming from. But a lot like last time, the first 10 to 15, or actually more than that, is going to be absolutely free for FCATS as this lead continues to shrink. Be down to about 20 points. Fascicum trying to get behind. He's going to be able to take out one, but the gunfights outside of him are going the way of FCATS. Fascicum's going to be able to find a couple. Fascicum still is on the backside. His spawns are going to go in the way of Reverence, which I don't think is a terrible thing for FCATS. That should allow them to rotate pretty well towards P1. Still time being contested, and the last couple seconds here may go the way of Reverence. So a good break. The scrap time going to go their way. They are going to be approaching that 230-point mark, but FCATS trying to rotate towards P1. All the kills, though, going the way of Reverence early on. Supremacy's going to need a big grenade kill there. First to touch, it's going to be Viper. FCATS trying to pinch their way in here. As Trauma's going to find one. Can they... FCATS can win it here, but they have to have a perfect, basically a flawless hold. This is a hill they did not do a good job on last time. Reverence played this absolutely perfectly. Agent's going to throw out a smoke, try to work his way in. As we see all kinds of utility and grenades coming out here. And Agent's going to drop. FCATS looking very strong. Down only 10 points. As Fascicum's going to take out Trauma from the backside. He will get traded out, and time will constantly contested. Back in the hands of FCATS. They can... Actually, we are going to see another hill. I'm curious to see who's going to rotate. Looks like number 1, it is going to be Trauma. Already rotating for the next hill. Nobody can win it here. So this is a great play by FCATS. They did realize they couldn't win or lose there. They are still getting the scrap time. And now the gunfights are going the way of FCATS. Is this going to be an incredible comeback? They've had a great second half to this hardpoint map. They only need 10 more seconds. Gunfights going the way of FCATS here as they do wipe out Reverence. Time is running down. Is Reverence going to be able to get a touch on this hill? It's not looking like it. Only 3 seconds needed. Everyone being cut down mid-map, and that's going to be the series for FCATS. What a map. I'm not going to lie. When we were rotating from P2 to P3, I think it was FCATS was down like 50 points, something like that. Reverence was playing so well. I thought they were going to be able to take this to a map number 5, but FCATS just staged a huge comeback. They played so well, played very structurally sound. They didn't really slay out the way that I would expect them to, but they just played very within themselves, played very patient and structured hardpoint, didn't really give up much time, but also rotated correctly as well. Did a good job of contesting, getting time where they could. Just played really good hardpoint overall as they win the series 3-1 and set themselves up well to take a firm grip here on Division 3. So that's going to put them in first place alone as Reverence has now dropped to 2-1. And Void Clan's going to be sitting there at second place, having to play their Week 3 match yet. But that is an impressive series. I thought after map number 1 and map number 2, this series was going to be done pretty quickly. But Reverence definitely played well. I have to give them credit. No, Colin, this is not the series before you. There's still one more. If this was the one before you, I would not have any concerns about time. But I still have Furious Steel and Primal to play yet, so. But hopefully that'll get started here momentarily. For VOD purposes, I'm going to cut the stream off really quick, guys, and update the title. So my YouTube guy can upload this VOD to our channel. But everyone that was hanging out, thank you very much for the support once again as FCATS takes a 3-1 win. And then we will be right back with you in probably about a minute with Furious Steel versus Primal.